Oh,
Twitter.
is the music still there? I'm supposed to have this by now. I'm supposed to be able to know what we're doing here. But there we go. Okay. There shouldn't be any music now. Hello, everybody. Oh, I forgot to open up the chat
Hello.
window. Hold on. I didn't see. Yay, it works. Hey, Chris. Hold on. This is what's nice about live, the startup doesn't have to. Does it have to be like starting a YouTube video where it's like, "Hi, everybody, welcome to another episode of." Uh, we we do what we got to do, right?
We do what we gotta
Yeah.
do. Yeah, my camera is just not looking great
Are you
today.
wired in, Kelly?
I am.
Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Then it's
Yeah.
something. You're not getting any fuzzies though. You're like it just
I
looks like a regular old, lower bandwidth qualities. Maybe just a little, like, but we don't have any weird artifacts.
well, that's good. I know I
Yeah,
may have just frozen.
maybe.
Um, I'm switching
There we go.
there we go.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. It's coming through. I think audio is
Cool.
is what matters the most here, anyway.
This is true. This is true. Next stream that we do, I'll have a much fancier pants face.
Yeah, didn't you
My
say?
face is not improving, just the quality is improving.
Didn't you say you were switching out cameras? Was this fancier face? Was this?
Yes, I am going to connect my DSLR as my webcam.
What are you
So,
what are you running? What's the camera?
that's not
Some
a good
old
response.
camera, some camera
No,
that you
it's
built.
I literally just bought a new one. Um,
Oh, nice.
Let me see if it's I'm usually a Nikon person. Ah, there we go. Emailed to me. A Nikon D7500.
Nikon D7. Okay. I don't know Nikon, so I'm saying that out
Oh,
loud,
okay.
pretending like I know what I'm talking about.
I
But
mean, I'm
um,
curious. It should totally be coming through my hardwired connection here.
turn
It
off
is
your
taking
Wi-Fi because
priority.
sometimes it's like it. Yeah, Mac. Yeah, it'll reconnect if you disconnect for a second. Um, yeah, Chris, it's a Sony A6400. So A6400 plus a Sigma 16 millimeter f1.4. Ellie's playing with her internet connection. She'll be back in a second. Yeah, I've been really happy with this setup. Actually, it's pretty flexible, and the prime lenses are really easy to work with. You're back.
Off now.
It looks like it's
Yes.
clearing up.
Maybe. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, my
no, I think
Wi-Fi
it
is
is.
definitely off now. It
Yeah, it's
broke when
getting.
I switched.
Yeah, so it was probably using
So,
Wi-Fi. It's weird.
yeah.
I don't understand how, like, what mechanisms Mac is using when you have like the dual connection. It just kind of picks and chooses randomly, as far as I can tell. I always have, like, I purposely turn off my Wi-Fi before doing the stream out of fear that it'll
Yeah,
do this.
clearly that is what I need to do.
Just force it to use hardwire. Because as we've learned, as amazing Wi-Fi can be, it's just not really made for streaming. I don't think
It is
this is.
not.
What's the protocol? It's TLS is what's used for HTTP, but
You are asking the
the
wrong
streaming
person.
protocol. There's two protocols that are like TLS is what you use with HTTP, and like when you're streaming games or when you're streaming this, it's another protocol. Anyway, the whole way that's built, if you lose a packet, then you just lose quality. Like, you don't lag,
Oh, okay.
you just lose. Yeah, it's just. Anyway, how's everyone doing today? How are you doing today, Kelly?
I'm good. I'm not working today
You're not
or
working.
tomorrow or Friday.
Oh,
I am here because
nice.
I want to be here.
And I guess it's not as warm though in Atlanta today. Is it
Um,
you're
it is
not
I'm actually kind of like sweating in this, but it's cool.
okay?
No, it is a little chillier, but we've got some nasty weather coming through. There's a very severe tornado threat just to the west of us. Hopefully none
Does
of it.
Atlanta get tornadoes? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We don't
really?
get where I mean, we're not like
Like in the
tornado
city?
alley, but
Yeah.
it can happen. It has happened.
Okay.
Most of this, what's happening now, is going to be like Mississippi into Alabama. So
Yeah.
we'll get
That's
lucky.
that's that's where I've heard about tornadoes before. That's like
Yeah,
that's Dorothy territory, right?
it's usually like to the south of us or to the north of us for the most part, like
Okay.
within Georgia.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the last Easter was pretty bad, and now we're almost coming up on Easter again, and we have another severe storm threat. So
Whew. We've got a WebRTC. Maybe Nassar. Oh, you're good at depicting or decrypting these
and
names.
sorry, our Sargil.
And sorry, Sargel.
Yeah.
WebRTC. Actually, funny you say WebRTC. That's what we're using. That's the protocol, or that's the is it a call consider a protocol? That's what we're streaming, or that's what we're talking to each other through. Kelly and I is built on top of the browser spec WebRTC, which have you heard of WebRTC, Kelly?
Nope.
No. So my understanding of it, and I haven't gotten too deep into it, is it's kind of like peer-to-peer streaming in that like there's no middle server that is processing the video streams like you would have in Zoom or Skype, or like you're not streaming to a service and that service is then sending it to you. Is that this is really coming directly from my computer to your computer, kind of
Huh.
like torrents or like peer-to-peer services.
I do know about torrents.
Yes. So good old torrents. We grew up in the age of torrents.
Chris asked if we have a tornado shelter. We do not. We have a closet in the middle of our house that does not have any windows.
Montreal, our 7 feet of snow is our tornado
That's your
shelter.
tornado shelter.
Yeah, we've
Yes.
got, though the snow is starting to disappear. I don't know. Here, wait, I can see the,
Oh,
wait, there we go. I don't know if you can see. No, it's getting blurry.
nope. Can't see it.
No, okay. Well, you can see at least it's not like white outside. It's
It
it's
is
like
not white
other
outside.
colors than white. So yeah,
I would show you mine, but
yeah.
there we
No.
go.
Oh, there you go. Okay, no, we see. Okay, good bit. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
little snapshot into where we live.
Surprise.
Play the what's the map? What's that map game where you have to guess where you are? Like it lands you in a random part of like a random street or Google
Oh,
Maps,
I
and you
forgot
have
about
to
that
guess.
game.
You have to guess where you. There's some like speed runs of this, or like people compete on it, and like who can get the
On Twitch, I
closest.
hope.
Yeah. You can look it up, or there's some recordings on YouTube at least that I'm sure it's
Amazing.
live stream. That's really cool. Um, no snow here in British Columbia.
Hello,
Yeah.
sure.
Hey, sure. Sure. Oh,
Never
love
gets
that
old.
name. Um, Vacation for COVID.
Yeah, I took a vacation all the way downstairs today, and then have spent most of my day upstairs anyway.
Yeah.
There are only so many places I can go, especially when it's rainy.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what to do for vacation this year. I have to stay in Canada basically. So
Yeah, thankfully, I've got a lot of the US that I can
yeah, I know. The
visit.
US is an okay place to travel, you know?
I'm thinking I would love to go out to Napa and Sonoma this year.
Mm.
Potentially take a road trip up north. Want to spend some time at the lake house at my family's house up in Michigan. Um, yeah, that's probably what I'll be doing. Maybe go to DC for a little bit.
Oh, I like DC.
Yeah.
I had a fun trip in DC. Actually, I discovered there's a place I'm going to go to next time I'm in DC. Um, at Thomas Kelly on Twitter owns a chain of Mexican restaurants, one
What?
of which is called MexiQ, and he's on Shopify.
That's
So he this
amazing.
his Mexican restaurants are on. He has a like swag and like culinary cooking store on Shopify. So of course, I think he's based out of New York.
Ooh.
I think so. I would technically want to go to the New York one and try to meet Thomas Kelly, the Mexican chef. Or he doesn't look Mexican, but he's a cooks he cooks Mexican cuisine.
This place
Um,
looks amazing. I'm just I miss Mexican food. I just have not been eating
I just
Mexican food in
miss
general.
eating out. Period. Like,
Yes. Like,
okay.
remember the good days when we didn't cook every single meal at
I
home?
know. Yeah, it's a weird world. Wes Boss is funny. He built himself a vacation office in his shed. Yeah, well, that's a good idea. Like, I actually, so the unfortunate timing, I have like a good sized shed that I added at the back of the house, and I finished it just before COVID hit. But I finished it as like a like
Storage
less
shed.
comfy, but like more workshopy.
Mm.
It's just a different comfort. Anyway, yeah. West Boss is a few people have done this. These nice little
Uh,
outdoor.
Cedra says there are very few places in the South with good Mexican food. I would like to politely challenge that statement. First off, Georgia has like Atlanta has a really good everything. Atlanta's a very foodie city. A
Isn't
lot of people don't.
Phoenix like known for Mexico? Like it's South? I don't know. I guess Phoenix is not South. It's Midwest, right? It's yeah. Okay, never
It's
mind.
Southwest.
South. Yeah, yeah. To a
Texas
Canadian, it's South.
obviously has a lot of really good Mexican food as well.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. I got to get down there. Okay, cool. How about we get the show on the road?
let's do
Get
it.
10 minutes in. So for those of you who were able to watch or attend last week's stream, you may know that we started our Shopify app and we left off basically at GraphQL. Thankfully, we left off at GraphQL because I was feeling like a total foreigner with it. And as trying to provide the audience with some kind of value, I was feeling very useless in that case.
Yep.
Kelly was carrying the show. Thank you very much, Kelly. Kelly is I get yeah, owning an agency and building some uh, serving a lot of different merchants' particular needs. I guess has resulted. Like, where have you
Yeah.
used for the audience? Like, you are a so for those of you who actually know, describe your business and like maybe it's easy to think you're just a theme developer. You're just building stores. But so
Right.
why would you be using
Yeah.
GraphQL?
So I am the CEO and founder of the Tap Room. The Tap Room is a Shopify Plus development agency specializing in custom solutions for high growth businesses on Shopify and Shopify Plus. Said that one a few
It's
times.
well rehearsed.
So yeah, I mean, most of the work is going that we do is going to be custom themes, custom theme integrations, custom app integrations, or custom apps. So we're touching both the front end and the back end. Most of our work is theme work, but we do things like integrating a Vue app into a Shopify theme, or we use the Storefront API a lot. So we're definitely digging into GraphQL there. We've built out in our custom apps, we've done lots with GraphQL, just kind of building out our own queries essentially, just depending on how we need them. We've done some really, really fun projects using GraphQL. And I'm by no means an expert when it comes to GraphQL. I'm just really good at reading documentation.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, that's half the battle, right? And
Exactly. It's a measure of a good developer is how good are you able to Google for your answer
yeah, Google or Command F through a page. I think I
or
think
Command F.
I think
Yes.
Command F is undervalued, or underappreciated in the like when faced with a gigantic docs page, being able to quickly pinpoint what you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
Google Google View. Cedro, are you saying you not a Google fan? Is that what FU means, or am I just not hip
no,
enough
no
to know?
Google foo.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the measure like kung fu. It's okay. It's okay.
Is
Well,
that
we have some
yeah.
other things that we still need to teach you.
Yeah, right. Okay. How to be hip and cool, you know? Hmm. Uh,
Fellow
can you show
kids.
example Kapui asked if you can show any examples. Is there anything live
Um,
that you could show that you worked on?
yes, let me just double check to make sure because things get updated all the time.
If you want to hit screen share, I don't know if you're set up to share a whole screen. In your OBS Ninja, there's a little screen button, and you can click it, and now you can
Do,
add a
do, do,
screen
do, do,
share.
do.
I can quickly add
There's
your
a button.
yeah,
Aha.
I can
Okay.
add your screen share to
Okay.
the stream.
So I'm going to share a specific Chrome tab.
Yeah.
So here's an example of a flooring
Just hold
company.
on before you present, and I need to add it because I don't have it. Just give me 2 seconds. It's adding. Copy link. Speaker one presentation. Speaker present. It should connect so people can see it. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Now you're live. You're good.
Okay, cool. So this is an example of a flooring company that we built 3 years ago, 2 years ago. We haven't worked on the site in almost a year now, so it is significantly changed since then. But we started building this kind of functionality here. So this is actually built with GraphQL querying this information where you can filter by color group like this. Think, like tags on Shopify. Whenever you want to filter a collection, it just appends to here. And it requires a page refresh. We're using GraphQL to query the collection and just filter based on a particular tag instead. So
Cool.
that's an example of how that works. I'm going to stop sharing this tab.
And
Trying to think if I
so
have any
that's a
other
good use case
examples.
of wanting more client side driven behavior,
Yeah.
relying less on Liquid, less on server side rendering, and wanting, yeah, the benefit
Yeah.
of
Let me
updating your
see.
page.
Oh, you know what? I can never mind. I can't show that one. I have another site that I can't show you, but I can describe how it works. Just
Sure.
contracts and
Wait,
stuff.
let me switch to our side by side so we can go back to talking
Okay.
about it.
Chris asked if it's in a Shopify theme or Shopify API. It's built right within a Shopify theme, and that's actually built on top of a theme from the theme store.
And
Uh,
I would elaborate on that, and that we don't. So any theme that you get on the theme store will not use the storefront API, and thus won't be using GraphQL, because to make those requests, you need to register. You need to have some kind of authentication token, and we don't have the mechanism on the platform yet to be able to install a theme and for it to register or like read from a token that is registered and then make those types of requests. That so there are a certain class of APIs in Shopify called Ajax Apis that can that a theme can make requests. So there's like a slash cart endpoint
the
on the store.
slash cart is going to be the most common when you see
Yeah,
like a quick view add to cart button.
yeah, is all running off that like self authenticated
Yeah.
Ajax. It's such yeah. I don't like how we call them Ajax APIs, but um, yeah.
So David AJ141 asks, out of interest, when would one choose to use Shopify GraphQL API versus the
Mm.
REST API? That's a really good question. So moving forward, and you can probably speak to this, the GraphQL API is receiving the support, the additional build out of new endpoints and things like that.
Yeah.
Um,
And I don't think that we're going all in on GraphQL. Like, and we've had this discussion internally of like, is GraphQL just going to replace everything REST?
and I don't think
Um,
it should, honestly.
no, and that's I mean, given my past few days of learning about GraphQL and what I'm hearing about it is that they do serve different cases. Uh,
Yeah.
that
So, and this could be a good example of how to use both of them together. So the site that I'm not allowed to show you for legal reasons, I can describe how it works. It's a meal delivery service where you can choose which meals you want to receive each week. And when you're going through the process of determining which meals you want to buy, you can start to choose which meals you want for a given week when you want to actually start your subscription. So maybe it's this upcoming subscription for next week to be delivered on Monday,
Mhm.
or you can choose a future week if I don't want to actually start it quite yet. So we're using the storefront API to query the collection based on that date and pull in the products that are available for that particular week because the meals change every single week. It's a
Mhm.
lot faster just to do like a quick GraphQL call for each of the dates as we change them than to building
Then
via
to
liquid is going to be
request, like, yeah, you'd have to maybe do a series of requests to get that.
exactly.
Like, you'd have to find out the get like the list of weeks, find out. Yeah, I don't even know.
And then figure out the collection and then loop through the collection's products and make sure they have certain variables. But we use the cart Ajax API, the REST API, to actually add the items to the cart once we're ready to check out. Because
Mhm.
there's no need to do some kind of checkout mutation to build a cart. That's a
It's
lot
that
of
much easier
unnecessary
just
work.
to, yeah, do a
Yeah.
quick like hit this,
So
hit the Ajax API, which is a RESTful API,
yeah,
and ultimately just update the cart, post
yeah.
to it with these updates.
So
Uh,
anytime we're doing any kind of cart manipulation, adding items, removing items, changing items, we're always going to probably be using that REST API, the cart
mhm.
.js, just because it's much easier to just go that route.
Yeah. But GraphQL run in themes. So GraphQL runs anywhere. It's just a request structure, right?
It's a
Like, or
different structure.
yeah.
Yes.
So you can like, I mean, I'm reading Apollo is like a JS client, has a JS client, for example, or like there are different clients you can use similar to like making a fetch request. Is that right? Like fetch
Yeah.
is a way of doing a request. That makes basically SHR requests easier. It's not XHR, but it's fetch. Um, that similarly, you can use a GraphQL client or a library in your store to easily make these types of requests. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you whenever you're making some kind of call with the storefront API, it does require an API token.
Yeah.
And so when we're developing, we're usually just using a private app to pull that token. When you go to create a private app, there's a whole section that says like allow to use this for the storefront API because it's just like a different kind of it's a different API key you're using compared to
Yeah.
the admin.
And this is why you won't see a theme in the theme store making requests or like API requests because, like I mentioned before, there's not the mechanism for it to get this auth key. But I feel like some of the themes, or like it's not uncommon for a theme developer to recommend a particular app in the app store, or
Mhm.
because when you install an app, that app then can request scope and has the API key and can can register scripts on your online store and then be making those requests.
Exactly.
It's just a bit of a
Anytime yeah, if you were to use a theme from the theme store that was already using the storefront API, part of that step of getting the theme set up would be
mm,
to create a private app as
private app. Yeah,
well. So,
yeah.
that's just too much.
It's just, yeah, it's not intuitive, you know. I mean, but
It's
I'm
not
sure some theme
intuitive.
developers do it. I'm
Yeah.
haven't synced it in.
Um, Dan Gamble says you can use, Fetch for GraphQL as well. You can, and, let me
Structured post
link
request. Yeah, yeah.
to, Fetch Shopify GraphQL.
That's
It
I've never written a GraphQL, I guess, just from scratch, GraphQL request from scratch, because makes total, like in Insomnia, you select post, and it totally makes sense that so you're just making a post request. It's just the way that it is structured that is interpreted as GraphQL as a GraphQL query,
yeah, it's the
and
way it's
probably a
structured.
header, and there's probably a header in there telling it that like this content is GraphQL.
Yes.
On my
I can
next
share
list of
my
reading,
screen again. This is a little out of date, but I can give an example of what it looks like if you wanna.
okay, I got to go through the setup process again. Hold on. Because you took a, I feel like it's going to create a new, you can share it though. Just share it. Okay, copy solo link. Na, 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 na. One, 2 seconds. Done. And there it is. There you go. You're live.
Cool. So I don't remember when I actually created this. It was at least
You want
2
to zoom
years
in
ago.
or like a
Um
command plus it or that? Yeah,
How about this?
yeah, that works.
So basically, my goal here was I needed to query certain products within the customer portal. And I decided to use GraphQL for this instead. So you can see it has a slightly different structure. And we'll dig into this structure in a moment, which is really handy to use something that, the graphical app, which we'll get into. But you can kind of see that I'm querying products using, for a certain product ID, and then I'm grabbing all the variants for it and and grabbing the title and the variants ID for them. And down here, I'm making that fetch request to the shop name API GraphQL. I did this so long ago that it did not actually have the API versioning yet. So
Oh
just
wow.
for
Okay.
some
That
some
so I
context there.
That was before May 2018. As per the
Wow.
article
Okay.
that I wrote that down, I was like, okay, GraphQL was introduced May 2018. I should know
Okay.
that because I guess it's my team that really has like done all the versioning. So
Yeah. So to point out here, it's a post request. There are two headers: application GraphQL, which is picking up this here, and then the X Shopify storefront access token, which you will get through creating a private app.
very cool.
Cool.
Um, we got Daniel joined. Hello, Daniel. Daniel saying hello, hello, hello. Um, so let's get start with how to start working with GraphQL. Just final bit of context for people who maybe weren't here last week. We have a Shopee Points. We have our shopee points.com website where viewers or or Shopify members of the community can start acquiring Shopee points. We have a custom app that is going to be powering all the logic and basically the wallet of this loyalty point system. So we identified that each member or like subscriber or member of Shopee Points is a customer in Shopify language. So we're going to be using the customer API, and the way that we will manage the points, or at least be able to tell what is the total number of points that this customer or member has, is with meta fields. So we'll be using customers and meta fields objects. So we left off like, okay, let's start making some customers and let's start making some queries. And that's where it left off. We have to use GraphQL. Sound about right?
That is where we left off. Yeah.
Cool.
I finally found the link I was trying to hunt for. This is from the Shopify GitHub that shows some storefront API examples. Particularly the vanilla GraphQL client is more up to date than what I had created. So figured you might want to take a peek at
Thank
that.
you. I will. The last thing you recommended, I learned a lot from. So I will probably be looking at that as well too.
Cool. You can see
by
there's a
by
very
that,
nice shout out to yours truly by JML.
where's the okay? No, I can't open it. But wait, describe what you're talking about. I'm not.
So the vanilla GraphQL client that he put together for
Oh,
this was
okay.
inspired by my gist that
Oh,
I just showed off.
good. Okay. Beautiful.
That, and by the way, what I did there, what I just showed, was literally the first thing I ever wrote in GraphQL. So
Okay, learning curve. I would so like learning curve on GraphQL, not the hardest, like not to
once you
rank like hard.
understand the structure, like that
Yeah,
is really the piece of it. Understanding edges and nodes, like why they exist, that's the piece to learn.
that was so I'm reading an O'Reilly book on GraphQL, or it started, and it's just introducing graph theory, and it's introduced like so nodes are the individual points on a graph. So you have like circles, a one, a two, and a three, and a four, and then edges are the lines that connect those dots.
Ah, I
And
like that.
it's going. And I'm remembering now some engineering. I remember this is maybe talked about one of my engineering classes. It's anyway.
I
Um,
had no engineering classes, so
yeah, this is so it's all based on graph theory. If you want to read up more on that. Uh, for a more practical approach to learning it, we mentioned this last stream, but the Shopify Graphql Learning Kit, written by my former coworker because he just switched teams, Alex Bradley.
I'm not bitter.
I'm not bitter, Alex. Sorry, Loper from TF2. Yeah, I have to do that. Okay, cool. So I was able to pick up a few things, but what we're doing to, or like what we want to start with that you thought was a good idea to show everyone was the Shopify GraphQL app.
Yeah,
What's the
and we
Shopify GraphQL app?
we have differing opinions on this. I call it the graphical app
Oh, okay. I was wondering why you were calling it the graphical app, and I didn't
because
look at
that's how
the
it's spelled.
GraphQL. But it's a
Graphicule.
capital Q and a capital L. I don't know. This is
Well,
where.
do you say an R it's an REST full
Oh, hold on.
REST full API?
This is a poll. This is poll worthy. This is like GIF versus GIF. Um,
It's GIF.
is which see if polls work this time because last time I tried this, it just said it was an error. Which is it? Um, Graph E
See, GM
Q
Gregory agrees with
L
me.
or Graph I.
Cool. Just GRAPHICAL, graphical.
Graphical. Okay. Allow additional votes. Duration. Does it work?
Which is it? Oh, there's the poll. All
Yes.
right.
Yes. It
Everyone, quick
works.
answer the
First
poll.
poll. First poll. Yeah. Woo.
Haha, I am totally going to win this battle. It's looking good.
The results. Wait, do you see the everyone's saying graphical?
I see 8 for graphical, 2 for
Two for
GraphQL.
oh
Oh, you just got a third. Oh, you just got a fourth.
wait, can I show the here wait, I can show the results on the screen.
There
There
we
we go.
go.
Do other people see the like results as it's coming through?
Yeah, I can
Oh,
see
okay.
them.
I don't see it on my like admin view.
Why not graphical?
Graphical. Oh, okay. Fine. I think
I
Matt.
accept that.
Yeah. Wing Matt Dev, you win.
Yep.
Wes Boss says GraphQL. Oh, okay. Wes
Yeah,
Boss
well,
says
Wes is
it.
not my boss, so wonder how
Ooh,
many times he's got that in his
shots
life.
fired. There we go.
Okay, well, the lean is graphical, so we're going to
Wow.
go with graphical for now.
Closer than I thought. It started out, everyone was really on graphical, and GraphQL was making some progress there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so let's
fine.
talk about this graphical app or
Yeah.
GraphQL or Graphql app.
According to the audience, it's graphical. So, okay.
So whatever you want to call it. So this is if you're new to exploring the storefront API or the admin API even, I guess, this is a really, really handy way to kind of find your way around it. You can see on the right the documentation explorer. This pops back out. You can toggle it, close, and reopen it. You can see two things there: queries and mutations. Queries, you're grabbing information. Mutations, you're changing, you're manipulating information. And go ahead and click on query root.
Okay.
And I need to stop
These are
looking
all the
at the
fields.
yes. Okay, I was looking at Twitch and it was not helping me. Oh, that's weird. Seeing like a random square on my screen now. Okay, so yeah, you can see all these different fields. Go ahead and this is gonna be
Customer.
really
I think I
annoying.
only added permission for customers for this.
Ah, that's right. So you
Yeah.
can't get the shop name. So if you hit the go button, does it fail?
Oh, that's a good point. No, I guess it has.
Okay,
No. Okay. Maybe that's inherited from.
maybe so.
I guess so.
So you just made your first GraphQL call.
Before we get into using it, just a quick for people to install it. So this is considered like a Shopify app that you install in
Mm,
your store. You
yes.
can just search Shopify Graphical App. I see it right here in my results. If you click this, it'll go into the install page if you don't have it in your store. If I click it, it takes me straight to this now that I have it
Yeah.
installed. But there's pretty quick.
Sure, redeemed hydrate.
Sure. Thank you.
Oh wow, I'm almost done with this. It's just LaCroix, although I do have a pretty great
Yeah, it is
PC.
a little bit it's a little bit shady. Yeah, we never know what you're drinking
There we
under
go.
there.
It's just LaCroix.
No judge. I mean, you're on vacation.
We're on vacation.
You
Also,
can
I should
have
be
whatever
drinking
you
like
want.
Jameson today or something. It is St. Patty's Day.
It is St. Pat.
Cheers.
It's the
Slancha.
second time I've forgotten about that today.
All right. Ugh, hydrate
I
again.
might have to
I'm
go. Yeah.
literally going to run out of this.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wait. I have to rate limit the hydrates. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the Guinness. I do have Guinness. I
Oh,
will
there
have
you
to go.
go.
Yeah.
I don't have Guinness, but I have an absurd amount of Jameson.
I
So,
don't know if I put them in the. I don't know if I have one in the fridge right now though.
well, you have an assignment once we get off of here.
Okay. Um. Yeah. I will grab. No. Okay. I have an assignment. Thank you for the reminder to go grab a Guinness before I end the
You're
day.
welcome.
Cool.
Uh,
So we're at continuing where we were here. We have the graphical app. We were looking in the docs in the query root object for customers.
Chris says I should be pinched. I'm not wearing green. I am wearing green. You just can't see it. Also, I'm at home.
Oh, and this again, this I
The accidental green.
unintentional green here. Okay, this was I just woke up and did my usual. Oh, what should I wear today? I've
Yeah.
been terrible St. Patty's. This is like one of the worst. Yeah,
I
most
mean,
forgetful St. Pat.
what are we really like? We're not going out and doing anything.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a wine night with friends tonight, so I'm not even drinking
St.
Jameson
Patty's.
then.
I mean,
So
you can. That's an easy change. You can change it from wine to other things.
I can. All right. I guess we should
Thank
probably
you for the subscription,
yes.
Underground. We're still trying to figure out what we do with these subscriptions,
I
and what you
promise they will be
subsequently
worth
get.
it.
Yes, we will. We will figure out what to actually do with them, but it means a lot, and we have to figure out how to get the money to Kelly. I think is the other goal.
Yes.
To receive compensation.
Okay. So what do you want to discuss?
So we want well, you were describing, so we've got the docs here. So query root is your root object. So it's basically these wrappers here, right?
Yes.
It's these outermost wrappers. So everything inside of it, think of JSON, think of JavaScript object notation. Everything inside this object is basically the query root, and these are the fields that you are able to select inside the query root. So
That
this
is
is
correct.
basically the root of any query that you can do. This is where everything can be accessed. So we want to be doing customers, right? Let's we can create another customer just for to pick up where we left off last time.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I start typing customer, okay, cool. Customer. Wait, this is customers. Where's customer? There, customer. Okay. And if I type that out, I click is how do I fast go to like the docs on customer?
That's a good question.
Like, I can
I
command
think
click.
you
I can
can
command
yeah,
click.
yeah,
There
there
you
you
go.
go.
Okay, cool. Lucky guess. So command click on the object that you're working with, and it's going to take you to the docs for it. So it's type customer. And oh, but we don't want to if we want to create a so this is for querying a customer. So we can see let's do
Let's
customers.
start there. Yeah, so we want customers. Now, one thing you will need to do because we are specifying customers, you need to either specify first or last.
Yeah,
So after customers, in parentheses, first colon, let's say 10.
10, even though we don't
We're
have
gonna get the
10.
first 10 customers. Yeah, exactly.
And does
And
this
then
return this returns so this is a connection. So this returns edges.
edges. Yep.
So we do edges. Like I was saying before, edges are in graph theory the lines that are connecting the nodes. So think of this as so these are all the lines that we're going
And
to be
then
iterating through. And
yep,
now
and
we
then
want
node.
the node is the final thing where the line ends.
And now you can start listing what you want to actually display. So we can say first name and last name. Let's just keep it easy.
So hold on, customer edge here. So we in customer edge, and then a node is the customer. So I'm just following the docs of what we just described. So we're on a customer now. Implements node, and yeah, here are the fields that we have to work with. So first name. So we want first name. We want and email. Email.
Um, let's do last name. I don't know. Remember, I assume I used my Taproom email in there, but just in case.
Okay. And then if we want to execute that, there we go. Did Brant Ward create an account like when we exposed? I don't know if that's a default customer
It
account
is
or
not a default customer account. So
no.
Brant Ward is our first customer.
Brant Ward. So we revealed our API key last time, and I saw that when I was like, Brant Ward, did I
Well,
didn't make
somebody
that.
can just have gone to the website to register for an account as well, because you did build a
Is it set?
registration
Oh
form.
yeah, it is set up now. Yeah. Oh, okay. On that note, so for people who want to start registering their accounts,
You can
registering
go
their
to
official shoppingpoints.com account, here we go. Go to shoppingpoints.com and it
you can
should
register,
work. Yeah, you should be able to register and you've got first name, last name, email address, password, and then you'll get an email and then you authenticate and it should
and then
work.
we'll see your name pop up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then we can see your name pop up in the stream.
Exactly.
So go for there. So we did our first query. We got the customers, edges. Each node is a customer. We have Brent Ward, Kelly Vaughn, Thomas Kelly. Cool. So we won't necessarily need to be creating customers in our queries. So is there any reason to create a customer? No, I mean, we've got 3 customers to work with.
No, I mean, all we're doing is creating meta fields, really.
Meta fields.
Oh, you know what? Add on ID. We'll probably need a customer ID to just to test this out.
That. Yeah. And
Okay.
this is the GraphQL ID, right? Yeah.
Yes, it
Graph.
is.
Yeah. Not the Is there another ID field for a customer, like the
Um,
Shopify ID?
I think you
Because this
just
is
need
worth.
to parse it,
Um,
doing like the A to B magic. Unless it is one. I don't remember it being one. It's just ID.
ID,
No.
global unique identifier. Yeah, okay, maybe it is.
Yeah, it's the only one.
Yeah, legacy resource ID. Maybe that's the other one that I'm thinking of. Oh, response. So if you're using the REST admin API, this
Mm,
was before. Yeah, we had to manually implement IDs basically for resources. So whereas GraphQL has it baked in, that's my understanding.
something
Every
like
node
that.
has an ID.
You
Yeah.
still have to every node has an ID, but you still have to convert it to make it have it not be GraphQL ID because that's not the same as the customer ID.
A great tip in graphical is control space is your best
It
friend.
runs it,
Oh, okay, cool.
or
In
Control Enter
Insomnia,
does.
it
Sorry.
inserts global environment variables. That's good.
Do do Control Space. I just Control Enter runs it, not Control Space.
What's control
It might
space do then?
it might autocomplete. Sounds like it might.
Oh yeah, yeah. It opens up the
Ah, yeah. Okay.
nice. Yeah, cool. Okay. Okay. So we've got customers. So we how so we're gonna be using Metafield. Wait, let me get to node customer. We're gonna be using has meta fields. Implements has meta fields. So we want every customer that is created, we want to have this meta field created on the customer.
Mhm.
Maybe that's a good place to start with our app. And like, or we'll do it here. We'll figure out the query here, and then we want to implement that. So would it be, how would we implement that? That when a customer account is created, would that be a webhook?
So you can do a webhook for it. You can probably a webhook would be the easiest, I would say. To listen for the customer. I assume it's just customer create webhook. Shopify customer create webhook into a song.
Control
Everything is a
space
song.
shows you all the fields on the current resource. Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's customer
Nice. Look at that.
customer creation. Yeah, a webhook will be sent every time a new customer is created. So,
So
um,
then we want to figure out the query that we want to do whenever we receive that webhook. We want
yes,
to create the mutation, the GraphQL mutation, to add the meta field and basically set it to
set
zero.
to 0 because we
Set.
have not authenticated their Twitch account yet. Yes.
So we want to create a meta field group or like group that is Shopee Points wallet, let's say, and then a field within, or I guess a field has an associated group. Okay, let's start there. So
Yeah.
um,
So, you wanna pull up the middleware app, or are we just gonna create
let's just figure out the query here, so we can stick to just
okay,
GraphQL side of things, and then we'll jump on the app side and
cool.
get it running in our app. And then I have to figure out how to. I need to get the app running like permanently, so that when people, so I don't have to backfill it every. Or maybe we can just have a. I don't know. Okay, we'll have to. Okay, more details unfolding as we go through this. Let me just make sure that's okay. Um, Dan says admin GraphQL API utility is really helpful when using GraphQL admin API in Node. Okay. Um, so we want a mutation. We will want to do that mutation on a particular customer, right?
Yep,
So that would be via the customer ID or like this ID, right?
it is that, yes.
So let's use variables here. So customer ID equals, we'll pull Brant Ward will be the honorary test subject for all of our queries. Thank you, Brant Ward.
Make sure you I think you need to wrap it in an object, don't you?
Probably. Looks like the syntax hiding is working now. Thank you. So mutation customer. Go.
It'll be mutation, yeah,
Let me get rid of this.
so what you need is, like, meta field create, for example. We're naming it,
Right.
and then in parentheses, you're gonna do input, and then create an object of what we're passing through.
Fields. Um, where's so? Oh wait, do I need to do customers first? Customer
I don't
or
think
update,
s do we?
and
Is updating
then
I don't think meta fields are part of the customer update, are they?
no, no, it's not because I don't see Metafield create. Maybe it's create
And pull up the
Metafield.
admin API I have oh, I wasn't creating meta fields, I was just exposing meta fields.
Fields. So create, upsert, create or update private meta field. So we want to create a private one and then make it visible, basically. private metafield upsert. Is that what we
Upsert.
want?
Yes.
Yeah. All this technical language. No sound. Is that people hear us?
I feel like people have
Oh, okay.
probably been hearing. Yeah.
No, Chris, don't scare us like that. Come on. The days of absurd technical difficulties are behind us.
The word upsert is just so weird to me.
Yeah, it's okay. Maybe that's because we're coming from a front end developer world. I don't know. We're not.
Okay, so private metafield upsert, and then in parentheses you need the input. Just right after
Right.
upsert,
Yeah.
input, and then you can do like $ input.
Input right because we're going to reference it as a variable. Or no input. That is
Did I skip a step? Oh no,
dollar sign.
we just opened a mutation. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so when we do the query variables, you do the open braces at the bottom, and then do input, and then another object that's going to contain all the metafield.
Am I right that we could do here dollar sign input equals private?
It'd be colon.
Where?
Let me just send you this link on Slack. I
Because
mean,
that would specify that the input has to be type.
it's it's input private metafield input is what we're doing with the argument that we're passing through, and then the next line is the upsert again, which is going to actually be picking up the variables.
Oh yeah, but I got this. Oh, okay. Because this is naming the mutation. Like I'm just trying. I was trying to
The
understand the
first thing is
syntax.
naming the mutation.
So
Yeah.
you're naming the mutation here. We're calling it private metafield upsert. We can call it
Mhm.
whatever we want, but and then this is specifying the type that it'll be using this
The
variable,
input is that type, the private
which is this
metafield
type.
input.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, this is great for validating my yesterday's learning. Thank you, Kelly, for walking me
You're
through this.
welcome.
So type private metafield, and then we call the mutation private metafield upsert. We
Mhm.
don't need a space here. So input equals the variable input. And then, so we'll want to create input down here. It's a variable
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong screen again.
because input could be this,
That's
where we create the input object right here.
We are
Like,
creating the input object, we're just doing it below.
yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So input
And
goes
then
here.
another
And then
and
we
then you
want,
have the namespace key. Apparently, it's value input with value and value type. I haven't actually tried that part.
why is that syntax highlighting messing up? Here. Apparently it's value input. What do you mean? So here's the variable. Like here,
Yeah,
let me copy that.
just copy it.
Oh,
Yeah,
because it needs to be it's
in
Jason's. Oh, it's
quotes.
Jason's syntax.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why.
One of the tabs. Pick one, choose one. So we don't need the customer ID. Not
But
for
we'll want to be
this.
selecting. We'll want to be applying this to a particular customer, though, right?
This is just creating a meta field.
Okay.
I
I'm
don't
going to
like the
store the customer
namespace and
ID just
key.
in case we need it in the future.
Okay.
Out of a feeling. Scene. Points.com gets a 98 on Lighthouse. Yeah, yeah, Dan.
Yeah, it does.
Everything I do is fast. Mm. It's not 100 though. Actually, Lighthouse scores are logarithmic apparently, so they're asked like 100 is supposed to be basically impossible. Like it's an aspirational score. It's not percentage. Like it's not 0 to 100. Like going
You
from
get a
98 to
60.
100 is logarithmically like that much harder than it's not just 2 more percent. It's like
Yeah. And if you get like a 60, that is not an F.
yeah.
A 60 is still not something to be disappointed about,
D's get
especially
degrees.
that's right.
60, yeah. D's get your lighthouse degree. There we go. So
So what
let's
we're doing is creating the meta field type. When we're ready to assign it to a customer, we do run customer update for the meta fields.
when we're ready to assign it to a customer.
Yeah. So first we need to create a meta field. We're
Okay.
upserting the I hate why is upsert a word?
Kelly, Kelly, and I'll get you an upsert teacher t-shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll have to play off this. Kelly's loathing of upsertion.
Upsertion.
the the No, the the absurd. No, I was gonna say absurdity. The absurd of
Absurdity.
absurd. No.
We'll
Okay.
work on it. We'll
Yeah.
workshop this. So meta fields are created through GraphQL.
Yes.
Okay, it's important to also note when you create a meta field in GraphQL, you're creating a private meta field, meaning it's accessible via Liquid, but it's not accessible via the Storefront API.
And
So
that's important
because it basically would expose all this information automatically to anywhere who has access to your API token, and we're trying to avoid doing that. Matt,
because you might be using the storefront API on the client side, like in your store, and you have so you're exposing the token that storefront API is using. Somebody else could
yes.
grab that token, and if there's sensitive data being exposed on the storefront API, then maybe not a good thing. So if your meta fields contain sensitive data, yeah.
Also, side note, it's not like Shopify is like HIPAA compliant. So maybe don't store sensitive medical information in meta fields. But I guess a better example might be the vendor for certain products. If you're like a boutique, you don't want your competitors to know where you're getting all your clothes from because they could be able to get them
You know
also.
what? I have the confidence to say that I think Shopify has better security than the Canada Revenue Agency, and that we didn't leak 800,000 tax accounts somehow.
Oh,
Yeah, there's juicy Canadian news on the side of the board. So yeah, we're maybe you should trust us with your. we're yeah we I think we're doing good here. Um, I like the just to look at the chat here. We got some good puns going on.
yeah.
Yeah, arrested for upsert photos. That's risque. Um, it's good to be absurdive. Nice. Okay. The
Kills me.
cheese. The
Kills me. Oh, I do
yeah.
love me some good cheese though.
Okay, so we want to create the meta field. Private meta field. So this is just creating a private meta field and we're getting the ID back. And then here's user errors. That's if something goes wrong, and then details about the user errors. So can we do anything else when we create a private meta field? Like
We're not like all we're
private
doing is
meta field
just
upsert.
that's our goal. No, or we're just creating. Well, I mean, we can pass out the errors if we want to display with. Oh, we already have that there field message. Okay, yeah. I
Um,
mean, this is all we need to do. Like, this is the first step.
oh,
We're just creating a meta field one time.
so here, but we can create it, like we can provide these input arguments.
So now we can start actually replacing placeholder with useful
Yes.
words.
So let me,
Dan, don't
um,
make Kelly upset everyone.
we
Wait, let me
started a
let me just
pun
look into
train.
the camera for a second.
Oh, are you using? Okay, wait. Uh, you have a teleprompter.
I do.
I saw that you bought a teleprompter.
Yes.
You should set up your teleprompter to use like during the stream, because right now I'm looking at you, but
Oh,
like through the teleprompter. Totally where, and like I'm looking at you, but that's the audience, right? Hey
huh.
everyone, does it look like I'm looking at you too? Hopefully, I don't know.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Just like a second up there. Got it. Okay. I'll figure something out.
Okay, namespace. So we want, this is the grouping. So we want, let's call it wallet. Is that
Uh, yeah. Wallet works.
wallet? Oh, that's probably an overloaded term in Shopify, but um, key. What is the key?
The key would be like, well, what
Oh,
what
like
data
the
are we
actual,
just,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Shopee points or
Total
total,
points.
total points.
Yeah.
Let's do total Shopee points. So they're not just points; they're Shopee points.
Okay.
Value input. So this is the value type. So this would be, I'm guessing, number.
Number.
Let me see. Oh, you can't command click to value. Here, wait. Let
Well,
me
there's one
just
way to find out, and it's just to do it and see if it breaks.
private meta field.
I never upsert. Why did I say
Value
that?
type, private
I've
meta
never
field,
created a meta field before via the
private meta
API.
field. That's okay. It doesn't show you the values that are applicable. Value type. How do we find the
I
represents
just
the
assume they're just typical GraphQL stuff. So let's
like?
just,
Oh yeah, here. Oh,
yeah.
it does autocomplete.
Okay.
Integer. Yeah,
Oh,
nice. Wow. Okay, that was easier. Thank you, Dan.
and then value.
Okay, wait. TKO 88. It needs to clarify some of my. Okay. Maybe
He's spreading
TPO.
misinformation.
Yeah, spreading. I'm spreading fake news. Sorry, unintentionally. The CRA didn't leak them. They noticed on the dark web that certain people who have used the same username and passwords for everything had their information at risk. So they canceled those accounts as a preemptive step. Just wanted to clarify for Thomas. So there's 800. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Like,
Have you met people?
my partner still has the page of like accounts and
Oh,
passwords, and I set her up with one password, and I got everything. I was like, look, you can use this and everything. It's
no.
like
You know
that
what
piece of
happens?
paper.
But what would happen if that piece of paper just magically disappeared one day?
Then you find that all the like nurse, yeah, you find your nursing accounts floating around on the dark web, I guess. It's, yeah,
Good.
scary, scary.
Yeah.
Value 0, right?
Should it be in quotes?
I guess no.
Cool. All right. What happens?
Let's do it. Oh, variable input of type private method was provided, invalid for valid input, valid, cannot
Not
coerce
curse
value.
value. Okay, so maybe it doesn't need to be in quotes,
Does
even though
need
it's
to
an
be.
integer.
That's a very helpful error message.
It is. I do appreciate some good error message writing.
Given like how crappy the error messaging is on the Ajax APIs, this is really
An error
informative.
occurred.
Or just like in general, error reporting, like with Liquid or any other parts of Shop. No, not okay. I'm not going to complain that further. Thank you. No. At least with Liquid and the Ajax APIs, very cryptic error messaging. We're allowed. This is openly like talked about internally, so we're aware of this. I can complain. Let's try this again. Cool.
All
There we
right,
go.
so we just created a meta field.
And there's the ID. So we create the meta field. Now we want to attach this meta. We want this meta field to be available. Do we need to? We don't need to create a meta field per. This is now we can attach this meta field to as many customers as we want,
Mhm.
right?
Yes. So
How do we
now
do
we
that?
need to do now we do customer update as the mutation
Okay.
in one of
Is
the
there?
input
Wait.
fields.
I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna open up Insomnia, and I'm
Yes.
just going to select body. Just so we can save these GraphQL. Um, rename. There's no like rename. Oh, oh yeah, there. Okay. Create a new meta field. Okay. And then request. So next we want to attach meta field to customer post. I find it funny
Du-
Insomnia is all dark looking.
did you create a new one or did you duplicate that?
I create a new one, I think.
Duplicate it. Otherwise, you have to re-enter the header information.
Oh, okay. Delete. Uh, duplicate. Oh, Command D. Okay. Attach field. We might go a little over time if that's okay with people, so we can get this attaching done. Attach meta field. There. Okay. Let me go back to our GraphQL. So we want to. What do we want to do now? We want to attach this. So what are we? What mutation are we using?
Customer update.
Customer update. Docs for that. Customer update payload. So we'll want to do. Oh, let me just hold on. Sorry. Let me get this back into Insomnia so we can save it. Field. Da, 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 da. Okay. And we want the same. So we want input to equal $ input. Posted the Kelly V image to Slack if you want to use it as an emote for subscribers. Kelly expert.
Killing me.
Oh, they're not gonna let you live this one down.
That's okay. You know what? I need a good RBF picture I can rely on at any given time. So there are worse things.
um, it just shows that the audience cares.
Exactly.
Yeah, they care enough to follow through on the joke. Customer update payload. That's what we're looking at. So it has to be the updated customer. Customer update. So we want to, what do we want to be doing here? Has meta fields.
It's just well, we're doing the input thingy again.
Yeah, input. And the input is here, I like that example. Meta fields upsert. So if we go to customers and customer update, customer input, customer update. So we want to update this customer ID in this input. What's the input in this case? Input is empty. That's not a helpful
Yeah, I
thing,
know.
actually.
I'm playing with the other graphical one to figure out what to do.
Attaches additional metadata to the customer. So meta fields. Okay. So we want meta fields. So our input, we want it to be meta fields. I'm correct.
Perhaps. I'd help you, but I'm unsure
And then
what to
we
put
want to
there.
get, what we get back here is, oops. What's I've switched Mac so many times that I forget the shortcut key to go between tabs. Command tab. No, control tab. Control tab. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Yes.
Customer update, meta fields. Let me go back to that. So, because on the interactive example, we want to be returning. So it returns. Yeah, let's keep that because that's the return value. Control Shift tab. Yeah, that's what we are having returned to us after the request is done. And then the input is meta fields. Let's see what is available for meta fields. Meta field input. Meta field input there. Is that an array? It looked like an array.
Is it customer?
Attaches additional metadata because it's meta fields. Meta field input. Specify the input fields for a meta field. For a meta, yeah. So you can only do one at a time.
Yeah.
That's my understanding. Meta fields. So we'd want the ID to be this ID. Let me add. Can you reference other?
Like reference other IDs within IDs. Oh.
Reference other query variables within query variables. Does anyone know? Dan, if you're still here, just because I know Dan is talking a lot of big stuff about GraphQL. Meta fields. So let's try ID. Yes, you can. So if I do like that, QL. You have the Samurai variable. Okay, I'm gonna have to look up how to do that in a separate time. I'm just gonna do it statically for now. So that, what's going on with the syntax here? I don't have the missing there. So that should add it as the input. Let's try. Want to try that?
I mean, the worst case that will happen is that it says
try.
no.
Variable input use anonymous mutation, but not declared. What? So you have to.
Oh, it's because mutation we didn't actually customer input. We didn't say what type of input it was.
Okay. So customer update.
Then input is customer input.
Is the autocomplete. Customer input like that.
Yep. See what that does. Invalid
Customer
ID.
update, no, error. Invalid ID.
Is that the meta field ID, customer ID
because
that
we
had in
don't
there?
have.
Oh no, we're supposed to be sending the customer ID in there, not the
Yes,
meta field ID.
true. So we want.
Do you still have it copied?
I do in Insomnia. Uh, what? Invalid ID. Are you stumped?
Yep.
I'm okay ending here because we can. So okay. So I like this. What we can do, I'll figure out, like, I can share the Insomnia collection on shoppingpoints.com as like a way to follow up on this with the working query here. To like, just because we're at the end of time, at the end of the show, we don't need to debug this any further. I learned a lot though. You know, in all my learning yesterday, I just read a lot and understood it. But this is like the first really few GraphQL queries that I've run.
Woohoo!
Woo! What about you,
Have to
Kelly?
start somewhere. Yeah. I'm usually doing queries. I'm not usually doing mutations. So
Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, something new for each of us. Time
exactly.
flies so fast when we have fun. That's true. Oh,
That's
we gotta
right.
we gotta hydrate. One last
Oh,
hydrate request.
I'm almost out. I'm basically out already.
Just fake it, Kelly. Fake it. Okay.
I mean, glug glug glug. I'm not an actress.
Oh,
Um, Note about next week. We might not be doing next week because I'm getting my second COVID shot on Tuesday, and I'm just assuming I'm going to be out on Wednesday.
I've been hearing mixed or like, yeah, my parents got their first vaccine and they said they were like 24 hours was just like ugh.
You
And then
know,
my partner got it and she's had nothing. So
yeah, the
yeah.
first one was perfectly fine. Like I had a sore arm, I had a bit of a headache the first day, but the second one, I've heard horror stories, so I'm just expecting to have to take the 24th off of work, which is also the day my Peloton arrives. So I did not plan that well,
Oh,
but
that'll
I'll
be
figure it
fun.
out.
Congrats on your Peloton.
I'm so
Bike,
excited. It's
bike
been like,
or bike or
uh,
I don't know
I got
anyone who has a
the
treadmill.
yeah, I got the Bike
Yeah.
Plus.
Okay.
I've been waiting 10 weeks. I ordered it in January, I want to
Yeah, I
say.
was gonna say it's kind of a peculiar time of the year to order a spin bike, given that it's warming up and you can go outside. But
Yeah, but hey,
I used Peloton. I used the app with my own. I bought a spin bike a year or so ago and had a lot of success with it. I really enjoyed it.
that's what I use right now. I have a Schwinn IC4, but I decided I want to be on the leaderboard because
Yeah,
I'm too competitive to
it
just be in
is.
my own
It
world.
I'm yeah. With any other leaderboard like Shopee points, I am extremely competitive. So leaderboards work. This
Exactly.
is why we're working towards Shopee points.
But if we're not back next Wednesday, we will be back the following, and it'll be almost April.
It'll be yeah. Is that
It's
Easter?
like the
That's
last
Easter
day of
week.
yeah, is it the
That's
last day of March or last pulling my calendar
24.
now?
It'll be just before Easter. It'll be
Yeah.
yeah 24th
Uh,
or
all
just
right, the last
after.
day of March. That's what it is.
Yeah, March
March
31st.
31st. Yeah.
31st.
It's a good
Okay.
thing this isn't happening on April Fool's Day.
Yeah. Right. Oh, I don't know. I think we could do some sections everywhere. Or
Wouldn't
now
that
that I
be
drop.
great?
Yeah. Would have been perfect. Special sections everywhere edition. Kelly plus Kelly.
We can
Get your
say
sneak peek.
it's like an early yes, it's an early sneak peek and this just on the show be like, we would have done this on April Fool's Day, but it's tomorrow, so we're just bringing the April Fool's jokes early.
So it's clearly we're gonna surprise everyone now that we're talking about our plans openly. But
Well, you know what? The 22 of you tuned in are now in on the joke, so congrats.
24. I see
I see
24.
22. Wow.
Oh, it's probably because it counts. Maybe I don't know. No, from my master panel it says 24. My master. I'm
Oh,
not supposed. Yeah, wait. My main panel. So hold on. Language and technology.
there you go.
Catching myself. It's hard to reverse some of those habits.
It
It's worth
sure
it though.
is.
Taylor Sis says 22. I need to show on my birthday. Shopify sections after dark.
And that is when we have Jameson instead of
Yeah, right.
LaCroix.
Yeah. Uh, okay. I would end with that. Tune in next time for Shopify sections after dark.
That's right. All right. Join us on Slack on the Shopify Partners Slack channel. We now have a Kelly plus Kelly channel on there. We'll also share the code in there.
thank you to the viewer, and I need to open it up. Who graciously donated their time to do some transcriptions
Yes.
of our videos. Hugely generous.
Sydney
Uh,
Robin.
Sydney Robin, thank you, Sydney Robin. That's it's
That's
it
awesome.
means a lot, yeah. And I'm now, it makes me realize. So I take my own. I don't do transcriptions, but I've been taking my own notes of each episode that have like at least topics, kind of on the timeline and like noteful links and everything. So it makes me. It's a good kick in the butt for me to make those public as well, and maybe combine them with yours. So yeah, join us in the Slack. Kelly plus Kelly.
Kelly plus Kelly. It's Kelly hyphen plus hyphen Kelly.
Kelly. Here, wait. Kelly plus. Kelly. Cool. Hey there.
Ta-da!
Great.
All right.
Have a good week, everyone. Have a good maybe 2 weeks. We'll keep you
We shall
posted.
see.
Yep.
All right.
See
Bye.
ya.